I can't believe you stayed late again, Emily said, tossing her bag on the couch. Her voice sounded tired but playful. I had no choice, I replied, shrugging as I dumped my briefcase on the floor. Mark piled more work on me today. You know how it is. She sighed and flopped beside me. I know, but sometimes I feel like we barely see each other anymore. I see you, Emily. Every day. Even when I'm stuck at work, I said, trying to sound reassuring. Every night when I come home, I'm thinking about us. She reached for my hand. I know. And I appreciate it. I really do. We sat there for a moment, the apartment quiet except for the hum of the fridge. Our little place was cramped, but it was ours. Our routines were simple: dinner, small talk, late-night plans, and whispered dreams about the future. You think we'll ever have a bigger place? She asked softly. Yeah. Soon. We just have to keep going, I said. I'm working 2 jobs, remember? All for us. Emily smiled, squeezing my hand. I trust you, you know. Even when I worry. Worry about what? I asked. Nothing. Just life, I guess, she murmured. I laughed. Don't worry. I've got everything under control. Later that night, Daniel called. Hey man, you still alive over there? Barely, I said. 2 jobs are kicking my ass. You sound stressed, he teased. Want me to come over and drag you out for a drink? Can't. Emily and I have plans, I said. We are saving for the apartment. Right, responsible adult mode, Daniel said with a laugh. Just don't burn out, all right? I won't. Thanks, man. The next morning, Emily's coworker, Sarah, stopped by to drop off a report Emily forgot at work. Hey, Emily. Thought you'd need this, she said cheerfully. Thanks, Sarah. You're a lifesaver, Emily said. I nodded politely, hiding the small twinge of unease. Sarah always seemed too familiar with Emily. I shook it off. After she left, Emily turned to me. Don't look so serious all the time. Everything's fine. I know, I muttered. I want to make sure I'm doing enough for us. You are, she said firmly. I trust you completely. That's all that matters. Her words settled something inside me. I wanted to believe them. I needed to. Later that evening, while I was checking my phone, a message popped up from an unknown number. You don't really know her, do you? I froze. My heart raced. Who could it be? I showed Emily. Hey, did you get this? She glanced at it. What is that? Probably spam. Don't worry about it. Yeah, maybe, I said, though unease twisted in my stomach. Something felt off. For the first time, a small crack appeared in the world I thought was solid, and I didn't know how deep it would go. Emily, I need to ask you something, I said, my voice tighter than I wanted. Is there something you're not telling me? She looked up from her laptop, raising an eyebrow. What do you mean? I held out my phone. This message. You don't really know her, do you? Who sent it? What is it about? Emily laughed lightly, almost too easily. Oh, that? It's nothing. Some random number trying to mess with me. Don't take it seriously. You're sure? I asked. My stomach twisted, but her smile was convincing. Absolutely, she said, reaching for my hand. You worry too much. I promise, everything's fine. I nodded slowly, forcing myself to believe her. Okay. I trust you. Good, she said, leaning back. See? No problem. Now, smile. I tried. I hate feeling like I don't know you completely. You know me, I swear. I've never hidden anything from you. Her tone was warm, but something in it made me pause. I ignored it. Later, at work, Mark called me into his office. Sit down. I have an offer, he said, motioning to the chair. What kind of offer? I asked, curious. A promotion. Bigger role, more responsibility, higher pay. But it's risky. Could fail if you're not ready. Risky how? I asked. You'd manage a whole team and take on new projects. Some people might resent you. You'd have to be careful. I swallowed. Sounds challenging. I think I can handle it. Good. I thought you might, he said, smiling. But I wanted to warn you first. After work, I told Emily about it. Mark offered me a promotion, I said. It's risky, but it could be what we need. Her eyes lit up. That's amazing. You have to take it. We've worked so hard. Don't let fear hold you back. Yeah, I said, but I noticed the hesitation in her eyes. A tiny flicker I couldn't place. It's perfect for you, she insisted. You'll do great. I believe in you. I know you do, I said, trying to push down the unease. At dinner, I brought up the earlier message again, hoping to get reassurance. Emily, I just can't shake it. That text, didn't it feel weird? She laughed. You're imagining things. Honestly, you worry too much. Let it go. I wanted to argue, but something in me, old habits, learned avoidance, made me stay quiet. I nodded, hiding the nagging doubt. Later that night, I was in the kitchen making coffee when I heard her phone ring. She didn't notice me standing there. Ryan, yes. I think he suspects something. No, he can't know. I'll handle it, she whispered. My heart froze. She said my name, like I was the problem, not the partner she smiled at daily. I backed away slowly, pretending to be gone. I wanted to confront her, yell, demand answers, but my voice stuck in my throat. I stood there, the mug in my hand shaking slightly. Everything I thought I knew felt fragile. I wanted to believe her lies, to cling to my world, but something deep inside told me I was already falling into a trap I couldn't see. I couldn't stop my hands from shaking as I followed Emily that night. I can't believe I'm doing this, I muttered under my breath, hiding behind a tree across the street. She didn't notice me as she walked into that fancy restaurant. My chest tightened. Why am I here? Why do I need to see this with my own eyes? Through the glass, I saw her laughing, leaning close to a man I didn't know. He looked expensive, confident, his hand brushing hers. I recognized the tie, Ryan. The investor Mark had mentioned. I clenched my fists. No, it can't be, my mind raced. Everything I thought I knew about Emily, about us, it all felt like a lie. I waited until they left, and when they got to the street, I stepped forward. Emily. My voice cracked, betraying my fear and anger. She jumped. What? What are you doing here? You tell me. I shouted. Who is he? Who are you really seeing? Her eyes widened, but not in fear. Almost. Guilt. I can explain. Explain. Explain what? That you've been lying to me. That every night, every promise, was fake. My voice shook, but I forced myself to keep talking. I trusted you. Emily took a step back. It's not like that, at least, not exactly. Not exactly. What does that even mean? I saw you, Emily. I saw everything. She swallowed hard. I was scared of losing you, scared of what would happen if I told you the truth. I never wanted to hurt you. Scared. You lied to me for months. I've been working 2 jobs, saving for our future, believing in you, and you were sneaking around with him. My chest felt like it might explode. I didn't mean for it to go this far, she said softly. Ryan, it started when I felt trapped. I thought I could handle it, but I was weak. And Linda? I asked suddenly, my stomach dropping. Her face paled. Linda. She's Ryan's wife. I didn't. He never told me. I didn't know it would. I'm sorry. Sorry. I laughed bitterly. You think sorry fixes this? Do you know how humiliated I feel right now? I know, she whispered. I was wrong. I should have told you from the start, but I panicked. I wanted us, I wanted your trust, and I didn't know how to have both. Did you ever love me? I asked, my voice barely a whisper. Her eyes filled with tears. I did. I still do. But love isn't always enough when fear takes over. I took a step closer, voice rising again. So all those nights, all those plans, were just words? Were they just lies to keep me blind? No. They weren't lies, she cried. I meant every word, but I made mistakes. Terrible mistakes. I thought I could balance everything. Balance. I repeated, incredulous. You call sneaking around, hiding everything, balance? She shook her head. I know it sounds horrible. I know I destroyed your trust. I'm not asking you to forgive me, just to understand that I didn't plan this. I was weak. I stared at her, my mind spinning. Every promise I'd believed, every late-night conversation, felt like glass shattering in my hands. Emily, I don't even know who you are anymore. She turned, stepping back. I have to go. I can't fix this tonight. I needed you to know. You're leaving. My voice cracked. After everything? After admitting the truth like this? Yes, she said quietly, tears falling. I have to face what I've done alone. And just like that, she walked away. I stayed on the cold sidewalk, watching her disappear into the distance, my hands still shaking, my chest aching. My heart felt like it had been ripped out, and all I could do was stare at the empty street where my world had fallen apart. I slammed my laptop shut, the screen still glowing with Mark's last email. I can't focus today, I muttered to myself, pacing the apartment. Daniel called. Hey, you okay? You sounded weird yesterday. Yeah, fine, I said quickly, too quickly. Just tired. Something's off. Spill it, man. I can't stop thinking about Emily. Everything she did. I can't. My voice faltered. Breathe. Look, I get it. But you can't let it ruin your life. You're stronger than you think. I don't feel strong, I snapped, shocking even myself. I feel like a fool. I gave everything, and she... Daniel sighed. Hey, calm down. Rage won't help. You need a plan, not a meltdown. I hung up, my chest tight. The apartment felt smaller, suffocating. Work didn't help. I stared at spreadsheets, emails, deadlines, but nothing made sense. Mark walked in the office later. Hey, I've noticed your focus slipping. This promotion isn't a guarantee if you can't handle your responsibilities. I know. I'll do better, I said, forcing a nod. You better. I'm warning you. I don't want to lose you, but you need to get back on track. Understood, I mumbled, retreating to my desk. After work, I walked aimlessly through the hallways, trying to clear my mind. Grace, my neighbor, noticed me pacing outside my apartment. Rough day, she asked gently. You could say that, I replied. She nodded, leading me to a bench. Sit. Sometimes talking helps. No judgment, I promise. I don't even know where to start, I said, voice tight. You start wherever you need, she said kindly. I took a deep breath. Emily, she lied to me. Everything. All of it. I don't know who I am anymore. I see pain in your eyes, Grace said softly. Pain is valid, but it won't last forever. You just need someone to listen. Her calm voice, the way she didn't push, didn't lecture, settled something small inside me. I let out a shaky laugh. I feel like my life is falling apart. You're allowed to feel that, she said. But falling apart isn't the end. It can be a beginning. I stayed silent for a moment, staring at my shaking hands. I don't know if I can face what comes next. You can, she said simply. Even if you don't believe it now. Later that evening, my phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number. I know everything. We need to talk. Linda. My heart raced. I froze, staring at the screen. Linda. Ryan's wife. She knew. My stomach twisted into knots. I dialed Daniel. Hey, you free? I need advice. Always. What happened? I got a message from Linda. She knows about Emily and Ryan. I don't know what to do. Meet her. Face it. You can't live in fear forever. I know, but I'm scared, I admitted. You're human. Feeling scared is normal. But you'll survive. Trust yourself. I ended the call and sat on the edge of my bed, thinking. My life felt like it was unraveling, every thread pulling away. Betrayal had hollowed me, left me raw, questioning everything I believed about love, trust, and myself. After a long pause, I whispered to no one, I have to see her. I have to know what she knows, even if it destroys what little stability I have left. Grace's words echoed, even falling apart can be a beginning. I clenched my fists, my decision made. Tomorrow, I would meet Linda. Fear, anger, and curiosity clashed inside me, but one thing was clear, I couldn't run from the truth anymore. I waited outside the cafe, hands gripping the railing, heart hammering. When Linda appeared, she looked nothing like I imagined. No anger, no cruelty. Just tired eyes and a worn expression. You're David? She asked softly. Yes, I said, voice tight. You wanted to see me. She nodded, motioning to a table. I thought it would be better face to face. Please, sit. I sat, trying to steady myself. I don't know what to say. Start with the truth, she said quietly. I know about Emily. About Ryan. You deserve to hear it from someone who knows the whole picture. I swallowed. You're not angry at me. Angry? No. Just tired. Betrayal. It isn't always simple. I didn't want to hurt anyone either, David. I thought Ryan loved me, but he lied too. My stomach twisted. So Emily wasn't the only one lying. No. And I tried to protect myself too, but it all exploded. I didn't mean for you to get caught in it. I leaned back, staring at the coffee in front of me. My mind spun. Every lie, every secret, stretched farther than I realized. So, what do I do? Expose everything? Make them pay? Linda shook her head. You don't have to. Revenge might feel good for a moment, but it won't heal you. Focus on yourself. That's the only way you'll move forward. I wanted to argue, to lash out, but her calm, honest tone made my chest ache differently. This wasn't about anger. It was about choice. Daniel called then. Hey man, are you okay? I'm trying, I said. I'm meeting someone. Linda. There was a pause. Linda. Wait, is this about Emily and Ryan? Yes, I said slowly. How did you know? I suspected. I saw things, heard things, but I didn't say anything. I thought you'd figure it out yourself. I should have warned you, David. I'm sorry. Why didn't you? I asked, pain edging my words. I thought staying silent would protect you, he admitted. But I see now I just let it hurt you more. I closed my eyes, feeling a mix of anger and hurt. It's not just Emily. It's everyone around her who stayed quiet. Daniel sighed. I know. I messed up. You did, I said, voice flat. But that doesn't matter anymore. I can't control what anyone else did. I can only control what I do next. I looked at Linda again. You're right. Revenge won't fix anything. I need to focus on myself, on moving forward. She nodded. It's hard, but it's the only way to survive this without losing yourself. I pulled out my phone and typed a message to Emily, my fingers hovering over the send button. I know. I've heard everything. I'm done. Take care of yourself. I hit send, my chest both heavy and lighter at the same time. No anger, no threats, just closure. Later, I called Mark. I'm ready for the promotion, I said firmly. I'll take full responsibility. I'll work hard and prove I'm capable. Good, he said, clearly impressed. I knew you had it in you. Don't let anything stop you. I won't, I said, a small smile creeping onto my face. For the first time in weeks, I felt a sense of control returning. Linda's words echoed in my mind. Focus on yourself. That's the only way you'll move forward. I realized then that I didn't need to react to everyone else's mistakes. I didn't need to chase revenge. I could choose my path, my life, my peace. That night, I stared at the ceiling, thinking about Emily, Ryan, Daniel, and Linda. Betrayal had changed me, yes, but it hadn't broken me. Not completely. I whispered to myself, I choose me. Not them. Not the past. Me. I've been keeping to myself lately, pouring all my energy into work, David, you've been killing it this week, Mark said as I handed over the project report. Thanks, I just focused, I replied, trying to sound casual. You've really grown. I'm impressed, he said, patting my shoulder. Later, Oliver stopped by my desk. Hey, mind if I share some advice? He asked. Sure, I said, curious. Don't let the past dictate your future. I've seen talented people ruin themselves chasing grudges. Focus on growth, not revenge. I nodded slowly. That's actually what I'm trying to do. Emily called one evening. David, can we talk? I'm busy, I said, keeping my voice neutral. Please. Just a few minutes. I made mistakes, I cut her off. I know. I've heard enough. There's nothing left to fix. I lost him. David. Ryan, he's cutting me off, she admitted, voice shaky. I stayed silent. Part of me wanted to say something, warn her, hurt her back. But I didn't. I just let her voice fade. Later that week, I got an email from Linda. Divorce finalized. Ryan's assets frozen. He's done. Just wanted you to know. I stared at the screen, conflicted but strangely calm. The pieces were falling into place, and I didn't need to intervene. I watched from a distance, letting karma take its course. Oliver leaned against my cubicle. You're handling all this well. Not everyone could. I'm learning, I admitted. It's not easy to stay calm when everything around you is chaos. Exactly. That's why people like you succeed. You control your actions, not your emotions. I smiled faintly. I hope so. I'm trying to rebuild quietly, step by step. Emily tried again, texting me later. Can we meet? One last time. I stared at the message. My fingers hovered over the keyboard. I could respond, but why? What would I gain? Nothing. She wanted closure, or maybe forgiveness. I didn't owe her either. I typed back simply, I don't think that's necessary. I hit send. Calm settled over me in a way I hadn't felt in months. My life wasn't perfect, but it was mine, and no one could take that away. At work, I stayed late, reviewing reports, feeling a small but steady pride in what I'd accomplished. Oliver glanced at me. Don't forget to take care of yourself too, he said. I won't, I said. I'm learning that now. I walked home that night through the quiet streets, past the places where Emily and Ryan had been. Nothing hurt like it used to. I realized my focus had shifted from chasing what was lost to building what's ahead. Linda's divorce, Ryan's collapse, Emily's desperation, they were echoes of the past. I didn't need to participate. Watching quietly was enough. At home, I opened my laptop and reviewed my next project. Each plan, each small victory, reminded me that my life was rising while theirs fell. I whispered to myself, I've changed. I'm stronger. I'm free. Then my phone buzzed again. Another message from Emily. Please. Just one last time. I didn't reply. Not yet. I just stared at it, feeling neither anger nor sadness, only a quiet certainty that my path no longer included her. I saw Emily standing outside the cafe, her hands twisting nervously. David, thank you for agreeing to meet, she said softly. I didn't answer immediately. You're the one who caused all this, I said, keeping my tone even. I know, and I'm sorry, she said, voice trembling. I was scared you'd leave me, scared I'd lose everything if I told you the truth. You didn't just lie to me, Emily. You shattered my trust, I said. You've been living a lie, and I was blind to it. Tears welled in her eyes. I see that now. And seeing you, growing, handling everything. I got jealous. I was afraid I'd never measure up. I hated myself for it, and I hated you for moving on. You hated me. I asked, surprised, though my chest didn't tighten the way it used to. Yes, she admitted, wiping her tears. But not you, me. I hated who I became. I let fear and selfishness control me. I lost sight of what really mattered. I stayed silent, letting her words settle. I remembered Grace's voice, choose peace over pain. I had practiced it every day, and now it rang true more than ever. I don't need you to explain, I said finally. I needed to hear the truth, and I did. That's enough. Emily shook her head. It's not enough for me. I want you to forgive me. I want you to understand that I... No, I interrupted firmly. I don't need your forgiveness. I've spent weeks finding my own strength. Love without respect becomes poison, Emily. I learned that the hard way. Her shoulders sagged. I don't know how to fix this. You can't. Some things aren't meant to be fixed, I said. What's done is done. She sniffled, wiping her face. I wanted a chance to make things right, even if only a little. You made your choice, I said softly, but without anger. I made mine a long time ago. For the first time, I noticed how small she looked, fragile, regret etched into every line of her face. And yet, I felt nothing but calm. You're different, she whispered. Stronger, better than I ever gave you credit for. Thank you, I said quietly. I survived this without revenge. I survived it by choosing me. Emily shook her head, tears falling freely now. I can't believe how far I pushed you. I know, I said, keeping my gaze steady. And I can't believe I let myself trust someone who didn't deserve it. But I've learned, and I've moved on. Her voice cracked. I'm sorry for everything, David. I heard you, I said. It's over. That's all that matters. Closure isn't about punishing you. It's about freeing me. She opened her mouth to say more, but I shook my head. No more words. I can't dwell in the past anymore. I turned and walked away, each step lighter than the last. I felt the weight lifting, like chains I didn't realize I'd been carrying had finally dropped. As I walked, I reflected on every mistake, every betrayal, and every sleepless night. They had shaped me, yes, but they hadn't broken me. I had survived. Grace's words echoed again. Choose peace over pain. I smiled faintly, realizing I finally had. I didn't look back. I didn't need to. My voice, my dignity, my life, they were mine. I had survived, and that was enough. For the first time in months, I felt whole. I unpacked the last box in my new apartment, smiling at the sunlight spilling through the windows. Feels right, I muttered to myself. Daniel called later. Hey, you moved. Yeah, I said. Feels good. Finally a space that's mine. Glad to hear it, he said. Mind if I swing by? Maybe we can start over. I paused. I think I'd like that. When he arrived, there was an awkward silence at first. I shouldn't have stayed quiet back then, he admitted. You didn't know how it would affect me, I said. We both made mistakes, but I want to rebuild, slowly, step by step. He nodded. Agreed. I've missed this. Missed talking to you without everything hanging over us. I smiled faintly. Me too. Later, Grace called me, sounding weak. David, I'm not feeling well. Could you come by? Of course, I said immediately. I'll be there. I helped her around her apartment, making her tea, adjusting her pillows. She looked up, a faint smile breaking through her fatigue. You've grown, David. Stronger, kinder. You care without expecting anything back. Thanks, Grace, I said softly. You taught me that. Being human means helping when you can, not just surviving. Over the next few weeks, I settled into my role at work. Mark noticed the change. You're really taking charge, he said. I'm proud of how far you've come. I'm just doing my best, I said, trying to sound humble. Oliver stopped by my desk. I see the difference in you. Confidence isn't just in your skills, it's in knowing who you are. You've found that. I nodded, reflecting on the months behind me. Betrayal, lies, heartbreak, they shaped me, but they didn't define me. One evening, I walked past the park near my apartment. A woman sat alone on a bench, shoulders slumped. Emily. I paused, watching her from a distance. She looked smaller somehow, human and fragile. No anger welled in me. No bitterness. Only calm observation. She's changed too, I whispered. I kept walking, not stopping, not reaching out. My life was mine now, full of small victories, empathy, and clarity. I no longer chased the future, I lived it. Daniel joined me on the sidewalk. "Everything okay?" he asked. "Yeah," I said, smiling at him. "Better than okay. I've realized something important. The past only matters if you let it. I've chosen not to." "You're different," he said quietly. "I had to be," I admitted. I couldn't control others. I could only control myself. That's where real strength comes from. We walked in silence for a while, letting the city noises fill the space. I felt grounded in a way I never had before, secure in my own choices. That night, I called Grace. "How are you feeling?" "Better," she said. "Thanks to you." "You're welcome," I said. "It feels good to help." After hanging up, I stood by the window, looking at the lights in the city. I reflected on everything: Emily, Ryan, betrayal, pain, and realized I had survived it all. And not just survived, I had grown, transformed. I whispered to myself, I'm not the same person I was. I'm better. I'm free. I'm me. I turned from the window, feeling a quiet contentment, ready to embrace life on my own terms. No ghosts, no grudges, just me and the life I had chosen to live. I stood on the balcony of my new apartment, watching the sunrise spill gold over the city. "It feels right," I whispered to myself. Daniel called, his voice familiar and warm. "Morning, David. You up early?" "Yeah," I said, smiling. "Wanted to see the sunrise. Feels like a new beginning." "You've changed," he said softly. "I can hear it in your voice. Stronger." "I've had to," I admitted. After everything, I realized I had to rely on myself. Not Emily, not anyone else. Just me. "You're doing amazing," he said. "I'm proud of you, man." "Thanks," I said, feeling a warmth spread through me. "I've made mistakes, lots of them, but I've learned. I've grown. That counts for something, right?" "Absolutely," Daniel said. "Growth beats revenge any day." I chuckled softly. Funny, isn't it? I used to think revenge would fix everything. Now I see, it doesn't. Self-respect does. I walked inside, pausing at my desk where a blank canvas awaited. "Time to start something new," I said aloud. Grace had sent a text earlier. "You're inspiring, David. Keep building your life." I smiled, her words echoing in my mind. Picking up a brush, I started to sketch, each stroke deliberate, thoughtful. "This is for me," I muttered. "A symbol of independence, of hope." My phone buzzed. Another message from Emily. I stared at it but didn't open it. No curiosity, no anger. Nothing. "Not today," I whispered. I called Daniel later. "Hey, want to come by? I'm starting a new project. Could use a second opinion." "I'll be there," he said. "Love to see it." When he arrived, he looked at the canvas. "This is incredible," he said. "It feels like you. Confident, free." "I hope it is," I said. "I want to remember that life isn't about what others did to you. It's about what you do next." "Exactly," he said. "You've built yourself up from the ashes." "I have," I admitted quietly. "It wasn't easy. I doubted myself more times than I can count. But I kept going. Slowly, carefully, I rebuilt who I am." We talked about life, work, dreams. No mention of Emily, Ryan, or past betrayals. It didn't matter anymore. That chapter had closed, and we were living the next one. Later, I stepped onto the balcony again, the city lights fading as the sun climbed higher. "Everything comes full circle," I whispered. "Not because of revenge, but because of self-respect, patience, and resilience." I thought about my past, the lies, the heartbreak, the sleepless nights, and I acknowledged it all. My flaws, my failures, the choices that hurt me and others. And I forgave myself. "I survived," I said quietly, "and I built something stronger in the process." The brush sat on the desk, half-painted canvas in front of me. I felt proud, not for what others would see, but for what I had achieved on my own. Independence. Strength. Hope. Daniel smiled beside me. "You're glowing, David. Really glowing." "I feel it," I said. Calm, strong, free. Not broken by betrayal, but rebuilt because of it. The wind brushed against my face, carrying the scent of a new day. I closed my eyes, letting the moment sink in. I whispered to no one, "This is my life. My choices. My future. And it's mine to shape." I opened my eyes, looking at the blank canvas once more. Every line I painted would be a statement. I survived, I thrived, and I am enough. No anger, no revenge, no longing, just peace. Just me. And in that quiet victory, I felt complete.